Okay, hello everyone, this is Mr. Alberonen here again, and in this video I wanted to talk about which cameos and types of cameos work best with Rain. And spoilers, it's Cyrax. But we're gonna go through all of the kind of options you have. So kind of the three categories you have are cameos that mainly enhance your everything except your combos. So an example here is Stryker. Then you have a cameo that lets you easily extend your combos. That's someone like Serena, Frost, or Sub-Zero. And then you have someone like Cyrax. We're gonna go through in order and explain them quickly. So, Stryker first. Stryker's a really good support for Rain because he basically enhances every part of Rain's game plan except for his combos. But that's fine because Rain already has pretty high damaging combos on his own, and he doesn't need an ally to get over 30% easily. But what Stryker does do is he has this mid-grenade tosses. They cover lots of the screen. He can throw it like that, or he can throw it so they hit in the air as well to stop people jumping. And these really, as they are ambushes, they really enhance Rain zoning, because if the opponent is blocking and throwing out, most of your projectiles are highs, so you can be holding down your projectile, have these mids come out, and if they do land before you do the fully charged one, then you'll get a full combo afterwards, because as we know, from the fully charged projectile, we can get a combo. So it just really is easy because it makes you have all this mid presence where usually your regular projectile doesn't hit mid. And a lot of your projectiles that you do with Rain are quite slow and committal. Like this is quite slow, this is quite slow, this is quite slow. Even this is pretty slow and has a lot of recovery. So the fact that you can do all of these and while they're coming out, you can actually be summoning Stryker or summon Stryker as you go into the animation to cover a lot more space is extremely useful. He also has the Cop Bop and the Cop Sweep, whatever they're called. And these are really handy for Rain because Rain already has some pretty nasty overhead lows. How can I get this guy to block? Auto. This overhead string of Rain's is completely safe somehow. So overhead, as Stephanie said in the combat cast, can become overhead low. Whoops. Or overhead, different overhead. And by the way, these are both plus on block, so they're very useful tools for Rain, who generally doesn't have too much pressure. So now every time he touches you, he either gets some chip damage from, just getting an overhead or a low on you easily. You take a quick 6%, or you're just left plus and have to deal with more chip damage. So he's really good. It makes his zoning far better thanks to these grenades, and it makes his up-close game far better because he has mix and plus frames now. And also, against a character like Sub-Zero, this lockdown is pretty handy because it has tons of hit stun. So you can do this and then summon one of these. So that's Stryker. He works pretty well at enhancing zoning and pressure. So now for the cameos that have pretty standard combo extensions like Frost's Ground Freeze, Serena's Quadruple Projectiles. They all allow Rain to extend combos really easily. And this isn't something he has a problem with, but when he has a cameo, he can do it meterlessly. So if I don't want to spend any meter doing this kind of situation, or I don't have any meter, I can always use Frost to go for a Ground Freeze, and I can get a combo going that way. You can even get combos off of things that sometimes are a bit weird to combo off of, like she can Ground Freeze just before they hit the ground. You can even get fully charged Round the World kicks from that, for some interesting extensions you don't usually get. So these characters are going to be pretty obvious in how they enhance Rain. They just let any little hit that you can hit confirmed go into a combo because he has this big easy combo starter. Same works for Serena, same works for Sub-Zero, and anyone that has kind of non-ambush committal combo extension move like that. However, I don't think Frost herself actually helps Rain too much in terms of zoning and anything else, because all of her moves are summons and not ambushes. You can't summon Frost while you're doing your own projectiles, and Frost is mainly useful for people that don't have a presence for over here, like Kenshi or Johnny. So she gives them options to go from full screen, but Rain already has plenty of things that he's trying to do from over here. Whoops. that you don't really need this extra ground freeze as a zoning option, but if you do choose it, it is handy because you'll easily get lots of combos. And finally, the category of cameos all of its own, Cyrax, who I've only played a little bit with Rain, but in like 10 minutes, I know for sure he is the cameo that works the best for Rain. He just makes things work way too well, and I'm interested to see if he ends up being the best cameo in the game. It seems like he's Kano on steroids, particularly for Rain, but I haven't tested too much with anyone else. So, Cyrax, he has helicopter, or you can hold it down to make it a horizontal helicopter. His back cameo is the net, which is a really long stun. It's a longer stun than the likes of Frost and Sub-Zero and Serena. And he also has these, which aren't too useful for Rain, I don't think, but they are handy. Maybe if I get a knockdown, I can try and use him as a bomb to explode and prevent the opponent from trying to walk forwards. But the main things that help are this helicopter shit, and let me show you why. So even just off of, you know, two little light buttons like this, excuse me, that was off of my lights, and I didn't need to summon like a Sub-Zero or Frost that would leave me unsafe. So this would leave me plus, and even if the opponent was blocking it, and I do dial into the Whirlpool is also plus. So this is just an amazing sequence that Cyrax gives you off of basically anything. So now, off of my mid, where I usually have to spend meter to go into this same combo that we always do, if I have Cyrax, I can just easily use his... My god, it's amazing. So you almost use it like it's a summon. So because it's so quick, you don't have to time it really weirdly or summon it beforehand, like with Kano or policeman guy, what? Stryker. This one, you just press and hold it down, and then you also cancel into your Whirlpool. And then you get a Whirlpool combo, and there's lots of things you can do for Whirlpool combos, but I like to summon a portal, then jump in with this. And look at that easy damage, doesn't cost me any meter, and because I use Cyrax at the beginning, he's already half back. Like, it is amazing. And that's not the only thing he does for you with combos. Also, this string, you don't need to use the horizontal helicopter, you can use the vertical one. And look how much hit stun is on this goddamn ambush cameo. I think this must be the ambush with the most hit stun. Like, Kano, you know, his knives, they hit twice, have some hit stun. This thing is hitting for like a full second. You know what that lets you do? Let me show you what that lets you do. Hopefully I don't drop it. That's right, you can get your fully charged projectile, which puts the opponent into a stun crumple state and get whatever combo you want afterwards. For free, by the way. There's no other cameo in the game that I've found that can let you get a fully charged projectile, because this thing is so damn slow. But Cyrax? Said hold my... I don't know, I don't have a joke. Hold my oil. As you can see, because Cyrax's ambush comes out so fast, you don't have to do any complex timing. I'm even cancelling this after I do the input for holding my projectile. So I've dialed in the string, dialed in my projectile, and then I click Cyrax. What? Yeah, it can mess up sometimes because of like the opponent flying to the other side occasionally. But that is just so amazing and so cool, combined with the fact that he also has this one. This is just beyond the best cameo for Rain. And we're not done. We're not done. So also, anytime we land this Whirlpool, and you know, that's something we like to land a lot, well, we can land a Cyrax net. And Cyrax net stuns for so long that we can land a fully charged projectile again. So this has so many implications. That means if I'm ever just using, you know, Cyrax as an extra projectile and it happens to hit the opponent, I know that I can go for a fully charged projectile and combo off of it anytime I get a net. I cannot, like, if there are opponents on the floor, sure, I'll dash in and do this, but if they're in the air or they're too far away, I can get a fully charged projectile from that. That is crazy. And, like, we have a bunch of cool setups for getting into the Whirlpool as well. So, anytime you are... anytime you get this Whirlpool, instead of just having to dash up into this, you can, like, more easily hit confirm and, like, go into Cyrax. You can even do 2 dashes and then summon Cyrax, and then go into whatever. But the fact that his net can go into your fully charged projectile, or if you haven't done the Whirlpool already in a combo, oops, as long as it is in range, you can go for the Whirlpool. He's just way too good. And also, he makes your Oki way better. So you don't get a combo of a situation like this, and I don't think you really do with any Kameo, just because it has so much recovery and it pushes them so far away. But with Cyrax, now you have all this extra hits done thanks to his loop-de-looping, that you can get a pretty well-timed Whirlpool. Meaty Whirlpool, and we already mentioned, Whirlpool is amazing because you can get a combo from anywhere on the screen. And we can also use it to go into Cyrax, or we can like do a charged projectile, summon Cyrax as a bomb to stop the opponent from walking forward. He just does everything you need. And also, you know how we mentioned Stryker enhances his zoning? I was a little worried that maybe my zoning will be weaker because we have Cyrax and, you know, none of his like long-reaching things are ambushes. But this helicopter reaches so far that you can use it in range using your projectile. So like this, if I'm using my projectile around ranges like this, you know, I'm holding it down, cancelling out of it, being tricky and stuff, I can just do the fully charged version and also summon Cyrax. So he covers the ground for me, and he also covers the air. So if the opponent jumps, they get hit. If they are walking around and they get hit by Cyrax, then they'll get Cyrax and that'll combo into my thing. It's just ridiculous. He does everything you need. And it also means like whenever I'm summoning this, I can call out Cyrax just to make myself more safe or to have better Oki like you just saw there. He just does everything for Rain. It's ridiculous. See if I release it early as well. If I fully charge it, it just is good for everything. It's ridiculous. Cyrax is unfortunately the best Kameo for Rain because I was really looking forward to playing some other Kameos, but I think I'm gonna have to play Cyrax. And just a final note for Stryker, because I do enjoy using Stryker thanks to the buffs he gives you to your zoning. You can actually do those, some of those Cyrax extensions with Stryker, but they're far more limited and far more difficult to execute. So you can technically do these combos using his grenade toss, but you have to have really good execution and timing. So right after you press the first button, you have to instantly press back and Kameo. And then, if it's timed correctly, they will all combo together. And you'll be happy. This can also work off of your mid, but this is even harder to do because your mid is a 4-2, so you have to go instantly back into Kameo. And then it can combo. So you can technically do these with Stryker, and I think they actually do a slight bit more damage than Cyrax, but they are far more difficult to execute. But I just wanted to put this as a note in here in case you see me using Stryker, even though I said Cyrax was the best. I still think Cyrax is the best, but I do just like the buffs the Stryker gives, and he can give you better combos. It's just a lot harder. But Cyrax wins, Stryker's also cool, and then other combo Kameos are fun as well if you want easier to execute combos. Anyways, that's Rain and his best Kameos. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.